Nasty person.
Now don't try to son me. I know what's going on. I'm just watching. But he's good with me as well. So.
She's a nasty person.
The floor is yours.
You all, or not all of you, but many of you treated Austin Foreman like a god. And Austin Foreman began to behave like a god. And when Austin Foreman decided he wanted to shut an account down, all he had to do is say the word, and you all acted like his little worker bees. And you just went to work. And that caught our attention. And who was the biggest mouthpiece of them all? Craig. And when we started looking at Craig, we started noticing some real abusive patterns of behavior. And anybody who has ever been through anything like that knows exactly what we are talking about. And so for you gentlemen, to get on this app and speak to women the way that you do, and for you to dismiss what we know, the things that we see with our own eyes, for you to get on this app and talk to us like we are trash, as if our opinions do not matter, as if what we see does not matter, as if what we have been putting together for years on other people does not matter, is so desperately abusive and belligerent. It's almost embarrassing that you voted for Trump.
Oh God!
I'm gonna rebuttal that.
was doing something to it, and she asked me, I asked her why she did that, and she goes, well, that's what Dad done. So when they said that to me, I'll be honest with you, my brother lost it, and I just started crying. Because what went through my brain is, I know I didn't do that, but if my 4-year-old actually said that, when CPS got involved, my daughter, at 4 or 5-year-old, told that this person wanted them to say those. So that person actually got in trouble, so they picked it up.
AKA AFF General. Well, not anymore, but it's what you know him as. Craig, I'm sure you've noticed by now that you've been banned from the Discord server. I'm sure you've noticed that I've blocked you everywhere, along with multiple other people. And I'm sure you've noticed that I haven't exactly rushed to your defense when it comes to the things that Brittany's been posting and saying. And I'm pretty sure that you know why I haven't rushed to your defense. It's because you know these things are true. And, dude, I trusted you. Like a hell of a lot. I trusted the hell out of you. You manipulated the hell out of me. You lied about who you are, who you were. You built an entire facade around yourself based on the fact that, or not even a fact, excuse me, based on the lie that you had certain affiliations with certain clubs. Everything else she's saying is also true, Craig. You know that. She has receipts. Very damning receipts. There's a reason, like I said, that I stood by and watched it. I've been taking the past couple of days to try to figure out how to process this, trying to figure out how to address this, because you're a fraud. You've manipulated your way into clout, I guess. You've manipulated your way into a position of what you consider to be a position of power. You allowed me to put you on a pedestal in front of over 1 million people, knowing that the truth about who you are could come out at any minute and bite all of us in the ass. The amount of stuff that you said to me, man, to make me trust you, I feel like a complete idiot. Honestly, I do. We talked every single day. At any rate, I don't know what you thought was going to happen. I don't know if you thought that I just wasn't going to say anything, or if I was going to try to, I mean, listen, I'm a loyal guy, right? I defended you many times when I shouldn't have. I stood up for you and defended you when you left comments that you should not have been leaving. I defended you when you said things in lives that you should not have been saying. Videos that you made that I was like, just that were out of pocket. I'm a loyal person, but I'm not that loyal. You're not going to manipulate me, lie to me, let me find out all the things that I've been finding out recently that I'm not even going to go into. As for the rest of AFF, I advise that you block him. He's a master manipulator. I have no ill wishes. I don't want anything bad to happen to him. Of course, I want the name changed. But other than that, at the end of the day, we're just gonna have to move on. And it's a blessing in disguise, right? So everything happens for a reason, and we're just gonna regroup, move on, and keep doing what we're doing. You might see that I'm a little quiet, more quiet than usual over the next couple of days, just while I process a lot of this. You can expect for freaking people that think that this is their window of opportunity right here. People to come back and be like, "I told you so," or whatever. If they had a problem with Craig, I don't care. They say, I'm still their dad, so it doesn't matter. Craig, don't try to reach out to me again. Stay away from AFF. Don't try to tell. I heard that you were trying to tell people that you're walking away because I wasn't defending you. You were banned from Discord last night. We were blocked by everybody last night. I've known about this for a couple days now, more than a couple days. I've just been trying to process everything and make sure that everybody around you was safe before talking about it. I guess there's not much left to say about it, so there's that. I just had to let everybody know. I don't stand by any of that shit. I don't. It's not something that I associate myself with. And it sucks. It sucks that that's the case, but it is what it is.
Video after video and ignored people and done everything to get this shit to go away, and then he thinks that he can just pop up and say, okay, well now I'm done.
Hello, Craig. I am the AFF Guardian.
You ready? Let's go. Yeah. For those of you that want to know what we're all about, it's like this, y'all. This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, 100% reason to remember the name.
fact that you guys refuse to see the truth right in front of your eyes and refuse to let other people find the truth, that's what's disgusting. Because there are victims that are trying to talk and they're trying to be silenced. And the voices around them are getting louder.
Woke up in a hotel room, but Thorne couldn't walk. And I told her that if she tells anybody what I did, then I know where she.
Boom, 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 bop, bam. The type of shit I'm on, you wouldn't understand. The type of skits I'm on, you wouldn't understand.
Wake the fuck up!
Count 1, guilty. Count 2, guilty. Count 3, guilty. Count 4, guilty. Count 5, guilty.
You all are saying I drew back. No, that wasn't what happened. Maybe on Grace's side, that's what happened. But when I was getting my son and she grabbed my arm, I pulled my arm across to yank her arm off me. She took it a different way. That's up to her.
One thing about me, though, is I'm an open book. I don't lie about anything. What I said to her when I yanked my arm back that I would knock her out, I did do that.
Craig knew all of this stuff. So him saying that he found out about it after the fact and then he ran my record is a bald-faced lie.
His business, but for the record, I didn't lose custody of my kids. Never lost custody of my kids. There was a temporary guardianship that was handled by private attorneys that was paid for out of my pocket and their pocket. It was not a CPS case. So, never lost custody, temporary guardianship, and the only reason that we did that was because of the pending charges, just in case I got anything more than probation. We did that to kind of protect the kids and make sure that they were taken care of regardless. So yeah, quite the opposite of abandonment.
Anyway, so when I met Craig, I certainly wasn't looking to date anybody. Yes, my kids had already been back with me for almost a year, and but I didn't have any desire. I didn't care to meet anybody, and I told him that. Like, I don't date. Obviously, I have no business dating anyone. Plus, I don't have a desire to like be with anybody intimately. Had been celibate this whole time, and do not have any interest in breaking that. In counseling, been in counseling for at that point I'd been in counseling for a year. So, and all of these things Craig knew. I was very upfront, honest with him. I had no reason to lie and not tell him these things. So yes, he very much knew this from the jump.
I know Craig likes to post text messages from after that weekend between us. Of course, his edited version, some of the ones that were missing a lot of stuff he left out. I guess he removed some things. But anyway, he was, I guess, just trying to prove or trying to show that we were still communicating after. Yes, we did still communicate after. I didn't really know kind of I didn't really know what happened, to be honest. Like, I knew leading up to it, like I had said multiple times, like what was seen in those text messages was minor compared to the phone conversations that we had. Me telling him repeatedly, I'm not sharing a room with you, and he's like, well, we can get double beds, or we can this, we can that, and he was like, well, I'll get your room. And so there's a text message that says, I don't mind getting my own. It wasn't, I don't mind if I get my own room. It was, I'll pay for my own room. I didn't want to have to depend on him. I didn't want to count on him paying for my room. Plus, I can take care of myself. So, I was, by seeing that, I was saying in that message, I don't mind getting my own. I'll pay for my own. So, of course, he was like, no, I'll pay for it. Well, I kept asking him, like, every time we talk, like, well, did you get our rooms? Did you get our rooms? And that's when I was finally like, well, you just let me know, like, where you want to stay, or I can. And he kept saying, like, no, whenever I travel, I always just get a room whenever I get there. That way I can see it. And I was like, well, I'm familiar with Oklahoma City. Like, I used to live there. I can, I can pick one. And then, he never did. And so when we got there, like, he got there before I did, and I was a couple hours behind him. Actually, no, he got there on I think he got there on Friday night, and I didn't get there till Saturday. Anyway, so he had already gotten the room, and so I was like, I'll just get my own. Just tell me, where you're staying, and that way we can like share, obviously take the same Uber, or, we can walk together, be within walking distance to be able to go to like Bricktown. So, which is like the place where like all the little, grills and pubs and restaurants and like little bars or whatever. I wanted to go like listen to live music, go to like Pete's Piano Bar, Coyote Ugly. So, anyway, when I got in town, we met up, and he met me in the parking garage, and we were like, well, let's just go eat. So we were going to go eat. When we got to the restaurant, I was like, well, I'm going to get online and get my room. And he was like, well, it's a Saturday night. It's going to be really expensive. He's like, I paid almost $200 for that room. And now in hindsight, I mean, he obviously planned it, I guess, thinking like maybe I wouldn't want to pay that, or I couldn't afford it. And so it was like a Hampton Inn in Bricktown, which is like downtown Oklahoma City, big kind of touristy spot. So he was like, oh, that room was $200. And I was like, okay. And he was like, it's expensive. And I was like, yeah, I mean, it's not cheap. And I was like, but that's fine. Okay. So, I got online,
to book it, and it wasn't as much as what he said it was. And I was fixing to book it, and he was like, you know what, just hold off. You can keep that room, and I'll go stay somewhere else. I don't want you to have to be out that much money. I'll go stay somewhere else, like a Super 8 or something. You can keep the room, and I'll just, after we go do whatever we're going to do, I'll just make sure that you make it safely back to the room, and then I'll go stay somewhere else. And I was like, are you sure? Well, like, you might want to go ahead and book it then, because it's Saturday evening, like, in kind of a busy area. And he was like, yeah, I will. And then he kind of got on his phone and acted like he was starting to look. And then we were at a restaurant, and then the waitress came over and like started taking our order. And then we just got to talking. And he just kind of like, I guess he never booked it. We just kind of quit talking about it, and then we just kind of moved on to something else.
Craig started off being a perfect gentleman. He paid for the food and all the drinks and anything. And I found out after talking to Austin that Austin had sent him $200 before that. I don't know if it was before the trip. But yeah, anyway, so thanks, Austin, for the food and drinks and for funding Craig's trip.
If you have a gun, you realize you're a felon, you're not allowed to have a gun. So you need to think about that, because I will call the cops right now.
I've had to clean my own blood off of my child from times that he didn't put his hands on me. He was just yelling, stop pretending to know this space. You're going to get somebody killed. This is going to be a long video because you deserve all the words. And I'm going to be as real and honest as censorship allows me to be with you. One, you clearly have zero idea the context of that call. That call happened, okay? Do you know who released it first? He did. Do you know why? You don't do. Well, he was on this app, okay, pretending to protect people. Okay, pretending to advocate for people and like bully the bullies, which don't even get me started. He was also using the platform to find women to hook up with. One, he did. You don't know about her. She hasn't been made public yet. Okay, you don't know about that one. There's a couple of them, actually, if I'm being really honest with you. One is telling her story currently, and it'll come out in her own words. Just no matter how many times people try to take me down, it'll come out. A man who just turned 47 in December skipped his son's 2nd birthday in November. A child who was conceived when the amazing young woman that is raising that precious baby was 20 years old. He skipped his son's birthday, lied about why he had to skip his son's birthday, went to Oklahoma to meet with a woman who had been celibate, who had not dated because of a very traumatic issue that happened, had been in therapy, doing all of the right things, okay? Went to meet her. That didn't turn out so well. We'll get to that one. He went to go see his son for the first time since skipping his 2nd birthday. He brought his older son with him, okay? Happened to be the day that I made a video going, hey, this is on your Facebook, what the fuck is this, the mullet truck? And is this your baby mama telling you priorities? Walked in the door, enraged, with his mask slipped. Blamed her. She had no idea what was going on, had no clue, none. I had never had a conversation with this girl. Only been going on what was public. Because of red flags, because there's something called discernment that maybe one day you'll get, maybe you won't. Not looking good for you, girl. In front of his now 2-year-old son, his mother, and his older son, threatened to take the baby and leave, threatened the mother, and reared a fist back. And because he was caught out on some major red flags, he was intent on proving that he was not the person that he actually is. In that process, he was screaming on the phone to her at a later date, after he had already gone back home. November 21st, to be exact. Phone call happened on November 21st. When Austin blocked Craig. When AFF blocked Craig. After I told Austin, do your own research. I want you to prove me wrong. I want you to prove that to yourself, that the person that Craig has betrayed himself to be to you, the person that you think that you're friends with, I want you to prove that he's right. I just prove that he's right. Do your own research. Don't trust anything I say. Do your own research. Austin found out on his own that Craig was a fraud. Craig, trying to prove to the world things that the world didn't even fucking know, had a phone call with that beautiful young lady. Screamed at her, threatened her, her family, their child, her best friend. After he had reared a fist back in person a few days prior, told her she needed to fix it. He posted the call, but only this bit of the call, thinking that made him sound great. It didn't. You couldn't even hear her responses. All he cared about was making sure that he got that little part where she said, I never said you hit me, which she never did. She never claimed that he hit her, ever. Which I feel like at this point, at bare minimum, we can both agree that there are different types of abuse, right? We can, at bare minimum, we can agree that that is a fact, that there are different types of abuse. To physically intimidate somebody is also abusive, but that's another song and dance for another day, girl. In that phone call, he tells her that he wants her to listen to him take his own life. Says, I just want you, let me text my babies real quick. I want this to haunt you every day of your life. It is cold, it is chilling, it is disgusting, and it is not even, like the screaming, not even the worst part. Threats, not even the worst part. He posted this much of that call. Just this much of that call. There was so much that was not posted. So much. And beyond that, even more that has never been mentioned, and I made a commitment not to. And I will follow through with that commitment. And when whoever is ready to share will be shared. Guarantee it. Been this close. Do you know how many times we've been this close? Guess what happens? Call after 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 call. Absolutely holding somebody else hostage emotionally. The call was not reactive abuse. The call was not reactive abuse. The call was abuse. There's so much more. There's so much more. So much more. I have held secrets for some of the most disgusting people on this app because it's very easy to get the point across by other people showing them exactly who they are. And when they do that, you and other people jump in front of it and say, no. That's not them. That's not them. They're doing that because of this. You are part of the problem. You are not part of a solution. You are part of a problem. And this is just surface level. This is just this much with you right now. This is just in this situation. Do you know how much damage you have done to so many other people? Do you know how many people you have served up on a silver platter because of your hatred for Sam? Because you did some things wrong. Because she was right. You know what? I'm not going to muddy the waters with your personal vendetta in this. I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to make it about this one situation. And just surface level. Just the call in itself. We'll pretend like we're just blind to all the other red flags. Right? Because you can just justify everything else away. It's crazy to me that you can sit in a deposition and say that you were scared for your life because of a TikTok sound. But that don't bother you? Couldn't be me, girl. You know why? Because I almost lost my life to things that happened after that sound. I've spoken at funerals because it was just a call. I've had to escape a car at knife point with a newborn. I've had to clean my own blood off of my child from times that he didn't put his hands on me. He was just yelling. Stop pretending to know the space. You're going to get somebody killed.
And I'm not distancing myself from Craig. Craig's basically my best friend. So, and I'm not distancing myself from Craig. Craig's basically my best friend. So, and I'm not distancing myself from Craig. Craig's basically my best friend. So, and I'm not distancing myself from Craig. Craig's basically my best friend. So,